Welcome to Win Online, your channel for educational videos. Recently, we received a request from some teachers who are using our Write English series, and the request was some tips on how to teach contractions. As you all know about the Write English series, that the main focus of the Write English series is to develop listening comprehension and the spoken English of the students, and all the grammar and the vocabulary that is given in the book is all based on this theme. So when it comes to contractions, some of us make the mistake of expanding them, reading them in their expanded form, while the contractions are written in their contracted form. So let's see how to teach contractions. First of all, let's just understand what contractions are. A contraction consists of two words that are combined to form one word. To contract means to make smaller, and that is what we do when we form contractions. We take two longer words and contract them into one shorter word. Why do we use contractions and when do we use contractions is another question. So, for the purpose of brevity in spoken language, we use contractions while speaking. Contractions are informal shortcuts that we often take in our everyday speech. Instead of saying, do not tease the dog, we shorten it to, don't tease the dog. Contractions are also used in writing. Those same shortcuts can be used in informal writing when we want our writing to reflect our way of speaking. But in formal writing, however, it's best to avoid contractions. So, contractions are not used in formal writing like report writing, essay writing, preparing proposals, writing articles for the newspapers. Things like that. But if writing formal letters, but if you are writing a letter to a friend, you can always use contractions. So, for informal, contraction is one component of informal language. How to teach the concept? So, number one is use a rubber band to demonstrate to your students the concept of expanding and contracting. When you stretch the rubber band, it expands. When you let it go, it contracts. That's what we are doing when we contract words. We are just making them smaller. So, the word should not change, its meaning should not change. It just becomes smaller. Number two, demonstrate the concept of contraction by writing he is on a piece of paper, or you can also use letter tiles if you have them. Cross out the I and replace it with an apostrophe. Read the new word to your students to show how the pronunciation changes from he is to his, because we have omitted the I and the apostrophe is showing us that one letter has been omitted. There is one rule to remember: apply only one contraction in a sentence. He's not here. He's ain't free is not the right sentence. Explain that an apostrophe is a type of punctuation mark. You have to explain this to the students. One of its job is to help us form contractions. However, many students put the apostrophe in the wrong place, in the wrong spot. For example, in aren't. Now you can see that the apostrophe is not in the right place. So you have to explain that when you are omitting certain letters, apostrophe is used in that very spot from where the letters are omitted. Understanding that the apostrophe must always take place of the omitted letters will help prevent such errors. Tip number four: write or build the words she will. Cross out the W and I and replace those letters with an apostrophe. Explain to the students that she'll is a shortcut. She'll means she will, it's a shortcut. A shorter way of saying she will. As you can see on the slide, I have explained the process to you. Underscore the importance of the apostrophe by removing it from the contraction she'll. Now remove the apostrophe from the contraction she'll. Point out that without the apostrophe, the word is shall. It is not she'll. So shall is a different word and it has got a different meaning, while she'll means she will. Never forget the apostrophe, and always put the apostrophe in the spot from where the letters are omitted. Now, we insist that most of the learning should be activity based, because once the children do something, they are engaged in an activity, they perform something, all their senses are involved, their hands, their eyes, their ears, their mouths, and it consolidates the learning. So just by looking or saying or repeating does not have the same effect, unless and until you design activities for the students. And when it comes to activities, teachers say, oh, we do not have the material, we do not have the time. So this activity is very simple. You are just using strips of paper, and you have printed let words on them. You have printed words which we want to contract. So let's see how will you use them. This is an engaging activity where students create contractions out of printed strips of paper. The strip starts out with a pair of words such as I am. As you can see, that it's a long strip of paper. I am is written in the center, and the strip is folded into three parts. The students fold the word strip on the solid line to reveal the contraction such as I am. So now the students fold the paper and the contraction becomes I'm. So the word was I am and the contraction is I'm. Here I am also providing you with a very useful chart which has got some common contractions. So it doesn't matter if you print out this slide, or if you note down all these contractions on a bigger piece of paper, on a chart paper, and display them in the classroom for reference, so the students can look at these, and whenever it's time to use the contraction or to read the contraction, they should be able to understand what does it mean. Just a simple quote: success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And why have I included it in this presentation is that do not assume that just one lesson on contraction will do the magic and the students will understand contractions automatically. You have to repeat it and give it in smaller bits. So maybe if you are struggling with contractions, use the paper strip activity every day for 3 or 4 words. Show them the expanded form, then let them contract, practice reading. So if you repeat it every day and divide it into smaller bits, your students will learn contractions. There won't be any problem. And they'll be able to use them in their spoken language. They'll be able to use it in informal writing. And whenever they see a contraction, they will read it in the contracted form. They will not expand it. So that was all, a very brief presentation about contractions. Now here is a catch. I have got the PDF of the strips, of the printed strips that you can use for the activity for teaching contractions to the students. So if you want that PDF, please write in the comments and I will share the PDF of the printed strips with you. Thank you so much. Here is our website address and the link of our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment. Thank you so much.